And where are we today? On the old Zambo TV. This is a nice vista, isn't it? I don't like all these 70s buildings. There's a heart of darkness over there, isn't it? The British Brainwashing Corporation. Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, gets a boner about the fact that we are forced to pay these people to broadcast their lies, deception and bullcrap into our living rooms. Even communist countries, even totalitarian communist countries couldn't get away with that. Anyway, what we're looking at today, there's a cycle lane. Is that a cycle lane? We can count cyclists, and this is actually quite a well-used cycle lane. We can count cyclists and talk about why the whole green climate change agenda thing's a pile of dog poop, in my humble opinion. Okay, let's get started with this. There's a Chinese auto manufacturer called BYD. I believe it stands for Build Your Dreams, or Be Your Dreams. Okay. Now they've brought out an electric vehicle at €18,000. I've not checked out, but I believe the Western contemporaries are more than double that amount of money. So you can buy a brand new Chinese electric vehicle from Build Your Dreams, BYD, for €18,000. You would think everybody would be jumping over themselves to go and buy one of these EVs, right? My wife's got a cracking little car, a Kia, small turbocharged petrol engine. Maybe it's crap, I don't know, but it's newish, and it's an amazing looking car. I believe it was in that type of price range. She bought it a couple of years old, but still, it's not unconceivable that if you're working £10,000 to £20,000 could be in your ballywick, in your price range for buying a new car, right? For what my wife and daughter need the car to do, one of these BYD 18 grand electric vehicles would have been absolutely ideal. Now, for decades we've watched the Americans and the British and the imperialists try to dominate the world's oil supply, which they've kind of done, haven't they? They start wars for this stuff. Scotland's got lots of it. Scotland's poorish. It's just all getting stolen, isn't it? The Chinese years ago realised that the key to all the modern environmental stuff was rare earth metals. You need these things to build electric motors, smartphones, computers, that type of thing. So the Chinese have absolutely cornered the market in the mining, production and facilitation of using rare earth metals. Hence the fact they can, and the way their economy's built. A pound in China goes much further, or a yuan in China goes much further in China than it does in the UK. So like Russia, the wages appear to be lower, but when you're living in China, you can live fine, you know. So their wages bills are cheaper in China. They've got a highly educated population, they've got access to all these renewable materials, and they're whacking out these cars. Now China's just became the largest car manufacturer on the planet. Now, I read a thing recently where Joe Biden, the guy that poops his pants in public at D-Day events, Joe Biden has put a 100% tariff on these BYD cars. So the people that have been pushing climate change, environmentalism, net zero, dropping your carbon and all this type of thing are now doubling the price for Americans of these little cars. So that's why I think the whole green thing, I'm not against it, I'm for it. Scotland currently generates twice the amount of electricity it needs from wind turbines as we use, but yet we're paying really high energy bills. So you can see where my scepticism's coming here. So the Americans have put tariffs on these BYD cars of 100%, so an €18,000 car in America is going to be €32,000, which I believe is still cheaper than any of the American competition. There's another woman in the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. She would make a great dominatrix, so she would just stick her in the Nazi uniform, get a wee Austrian painter moustache on her, and you'd have a good party with her at night. Ursula von der Leyen, she wants to do the same thing. She wants to impose tariffs onto these cars because it's uncompetitive competition against the European cars. I think Volkswagen EVs start about £40,000 or £50,000, so do the math, you know. So my point with this little video is, if they were serious about net zero, climate change, the whole green agenda, will we call it? If they were serious about all this stuff, they would probably reduce import taxes on these little cars so we could all jump about in cheap electric vehicles. If they were serious about it. They're not serious about it. What I think the whole thing's about is, this little van goes great. It's probably got another couple of years on the road. I bought it for £3,000 or £4,000 4 years ago. It's been absolute dynamite. I don't expect it to last forever. It's already done close to 200,000 miles. We used to have records. Records worked okay. Then they managed to resell us the format in CDs. CDs sounded marginally better and you could get more information on them. Now we're all streaming stuff. I think an electric vehicle is the equivalent of a CD. We've all got cars, they all work fine. Now they want to sell us more cars to stimulate the car market. Does that make sense? Am I going nuts? I'm sure this will maybe rattle some cages in the comment section. So what was my point today? If they wanted us in the EVs, they would drop the taxes on the EVs and encourage us all to buy them. They're not doing that. They're actively trying to... the Chinese are better at capitalism than Europeans because they can manufacture products we want cheaper than we can manufacture them. And that's our politicians' fault. They deindustrialised us, they let energy prices soar, they let private businesses run the energy infrastructure. I'm all for clean air. As human beings, we have a duty to leave the planet in a better condition than we found it, because our kids are going to be inhabiting the planet. So I'm all for it. But if Scotland's producing twice the amount of renewable electricity that we use, why can we not afford to pay our electricity bills? Right, so as a wee hang up, let's have a toodle around and see what's happening on the mighty River Clyde. That's where your electric cars have been built and shipped from, isn't it? Oh God, it smells amazing down here, so it does. Clyde was really filthy and polluted when I was a kid, it's not anymore. So what we got over here? Glasgow Science Centre, an unusual big building. That's a joke, considering our engineering heritage. That thing's supposed to rotate. And the bearing at the bottom of it broke and it never happened. BBC, nuke that, honestly. Hit that with a couple of crews missing. That's Orwellian, that place. What else have we got? This is actually, the architecture has continuity here, because it's all new buildings in the same area. I think one of the problems with Glasgow is a lot of the Victorian stuff was knocked down, and you now have 70s crap built next to modern stuff, right? So your green stuff, if it doesn't benefit the people of the country, throw it in the bin. I would open the coal mines back up. Alright, get chatting, bye.